In 1965, as the Rolling Stones embark on their fourth European tour and Muhammad Ali delivers a knockout punch to Sonny Liston, the US is making strides in space exploration and it's capturing the world's imagination. While Leo Fender contemplates a guitar prototype that is a thrilling reflection of the times. Nicknamed the Marauder for its masked appearance, this guitar is decked out with control knobs, like the inside of an American spacecraft. Although it never hit the production line, the Marauder amused me enough to take a deep dive into its history and potentially recreate a Fender legend. Fans got their first glimpse of the Marauder in Fender's 1965 catalog. It was listed alongside the luxurious Fender Jaguar. Despite both guitars sharing the same dimensions, only one would survive the deal that Fender made with CBS. Now, 1965 was a pivotal year for the brand. Leo Fender's declining health led to a hasty decision to sell the company to industry giant CBS. This sparked about 2 decades worth of subpar instruments. Some say the pickups alone were enough to bankrupt this entire project, while I believe it has something to do with this CBS deal. Every few years, an authentic recreation of this guitar will rise from the ashes. The rarest guitar in Fender history is a pretty simple build from home. Since I'll be stuffing this guitar like a Thanksgiving turkey, it's crucial that there's enough space within the body. I started by chopping up this larger piece of wood into more manageable rows. This begs the question, does one ever develop a conscience after senselessly mangling hundreds of guitars? The answer is no. During the mid-60s, Fender was banking off of their streamlined instruments. They were the only ones producing sleek guitars. For example, the ashtray. These devices were designed to cover up the asymmetrical nature of the Fender tremolo system. The bridge we're all familiar with was actually a weak spot for the sleek look of the Fender Stratocaster. That's more like it. Enter Kia Porky Freeman, a professional musician and also a mad scientist. So one day, Freeman stops by the production plant in Fullerton, California. He sees a wall full of freshly painted Fender Stratocasters and says, "You call that streamlined? Why even bother playing guitar if your strumming hand is just gonna get caught up on those pesky single coil pickups?" And so he lays down a floor plan for the Fender Marauder. Instead of having pickups that protrude outside of the body, the Marauder's pickups will be hidden. Everything about this build was impossible, yet Fender still throws it in the 1965 catalog. Single coiled pickups are known for their natural sound and not necessarily noted for their high output volume. Now Freeman wants to shove them in a guitar underneath a 3-ply piece of plastic? You gotta be kidding me. That is why Freeman and the Fender boys concocted a completely new pickup design. These electronics would rival that of a Fender P-Bass. After much tailoring, and even more tailoring after that, I had a small slot to fit the humbucker inside of. The idea of owning a dream guitar starts very early in someone's guitar progression. It could be a Strat or an SG depending on your musical goals. For me, that's the Fender Marauder. It's the physical embodiment of retro futurism. There's only one problem. There's no evidence that the Marauder even existed other than a few pictures in the Fender catalog from 1965. That's why I built one myself. But most importantly for this build, I wanted to carry on Kia Porky Freeman's original Ghost pickup design. From 1964 to now, anyone who dares to recreate this legend will have to do so without a map. But luckily, this guitar kit that I got from StewMac's website is included with a blueprint. In this moment, I felt like a young Leo Fender, suffering through trial and error to get the job done.
Oh gosh, I just sprayed it all over myself.
After a shoddy first coat of paint, I returned with a brand new idea. It's about working smarter, not harder. For those of you wondering, this guitar came from StewMac's website. They sent me this kit for free as I told them about my ridiculous idea. Once my entire garage was covered in a thin coat of Sonic Blue paint, I had no regrets. This airy Sonic Blue will pair perfectly with the pickguard I plan to install. Initially, the Fender Marauder looks like a Jaguar that left its pickups at home. But if we pop the hood, things get weird. In total, the Marauder has 64 pole pieces, rivaling the magnetic pole of a triple set of humbuckers. To control this set of super pickups, the Marauder is equipped with 4 3-way switches. That's a total of 48 different tones. But with great power comes great responsibility. And after only a few months with the prototype, Fender was faced with issues such as buzzing and weak signals. The Marauder was too ambitious, and so Fender ditched this project until 1999 when fans got a custom shop reissue. This was essentially a freehand build since the original blueprint for the Mark I and II Marauder had been lost to time. Nowadays, it seems like Fender has wiped its memory of anything having to do with the original Marauder design. When I'm playing a Fender Stratocaster, I'm not thinking of how bulky the single-coiled pickups are. So plugging into this thing for the first time wasn't that revolutionary. Can you hear where the humbucker is placed inside of this guitar? Just using a single humbucker for this build was risky. No industry standard pickup has enough juice to cut through a plastic pickguard. But that's why my buddy Josh came up with a great idea. Instead of altering the electronics, we'd alter the pickguard. There's a 3-inch section of pickguard that is completely thinned out, and that's why I'm not experiencing any loss of quality. So where does the Marauder stand today? Well, Kia Porky Freeman didn't give up. He actually took his prototypes to Rickenbacker. This is all hearsay, of course, because there's no actual evidence of this online. In reality, it's up to us, the players, to carry on the legacy of the Fender Marauder. There's a ton of great independent companies that are still carrying on this flame, but ultimately this journey brings me one step closer to holding and playing my dream guitar. I learned a lot of things from this build. If you're gonna go with this reversed pickup configuration, you're gonna need a lot more than a single humbucker. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.